Welcome, everyone, to the Better Love Movement podcast, where you will finally learn how to intentionally do dating and relationships right. My name is Anita Stoudemire, and I'm a licensed professional therapist and your personal love mentor. I've worked with thousands of singles and couples, giving them the skills needed to attract and keep the amazing love they desire. It's my heart's work to help people to get the skills needed to not only become the very best versions of themselves, but to help them grow and evolve emotionally and relationally. You can absolutely have the romantic relationship of your dreams. Come and let me show you how. Hey everybody, it's Anita with Better Love Movement, and so I am back again this week with another podcast episode. And I alluded to this episode in last week's episode. I said, you know what? I'm going to do an entire second episode on this skill. So this is episode 92, and I am titling this episode, "This is the Skill that Every Feminine Energy Woman Must Master." That is the title of this week's episode. What is that skill? I wonder, what could that be? So there are so many things that we as feminine energy women must master or get better at. And I struggled with some of these myself. Number one was patience. That is a feminine energy skill that every feminine woman who wants to be in her feminine power, she must master that skill of being patient, because that is a feminine energy trait. And so if we're impatient, if we're trying to make everything happen and we are focused and directed, that is a masculine energy trait. We are in our masculine energy when we're trying to make everything happen. So the feminine trusts, the feminine has faith that all things are working themselves out in time. And so she is patient. So ladies, I know that's a hard one. It is a very hard one for me. It is something that I've leaned into over the last year. And dare I say it, I'm getting much better at being patient. So that's one of them, but that's not what we're going to talk about tonight. Tonight, we are going to, or at least it's night here where I am, maybe not when you're listening to this, but we're going to talk all about, the dreaded emotional regulation. This is a big one. And so I get pushback about this a lot because women have told me, well, yes, I am a feminine energy woman and I have these feelings. I have all these feelings. I have these big feelings and these big emotions. And so when I'm upset or when I'm angry or when I'm really sad or even when I'm really happy, all of these big emotions come out of me. I just feel everything. Or I have ladies telling me I'm an empath. And I just absorb the emotions of others. And, I can just feel all the emotions going on in the room. Okay, and I understand all of that. But what I'm here to tell you, and hopefully to teach you this evening, is that a wise person who wants to go far and be successful in dating and relationships, in life, they have learned how to master their emotions. They have learned the skill of emotional regulation. And they understand that while, and I agree with this, that while I believe that we're all connected, right? All human beings are connected. And yet and still, I can compartmentalize. I can learn how to stay within the boundaries that is me, that is my body. Like I don't have to let anything in Ooh, it's sweating in here. So if you're looking at this on YouTube, you're seeing me wipe my face. But I don't have to let anything in that I don't want to come in. Like, I don't want to live in such a way that I'm not able to do that, right? I don't want to live in a way that says, I just absorb everyone's energy and absorb everyone's emotions. No, I mean, I can be aware of them, but I don't have to take them in. And so that's what I want to teach you. That is the skill you must learn. That even if you're aware of all these big emotions in a room, I know I am. I'm always aware of the different feelings and emotions that are happening in any room that I walk in. And yet, I am learning every day the skill of not letting that in, not taking that on. And then on the flip side, I'm also learning how to manage my own emotions, that my own emotions don't need to just bust out of me and spill out onto everything and everyone. I can contain my emotions in a healthy way. I can feel them because I'm not telling you to repress your emotions. I want you to identify them and I want you to feel them. But that is very different than letting them break outside of you and just spill out onto everyone else. That's what I want you to regulate. That's what I want you to control. And if you're over the age of 25 and your prefrontal cortex has matured, you have the capability of doing this. It is a skill. It's going to require practice, but with practice, you can do it. And so here's what I'm seeing. And this is why people say, oh, this is so hard. It's such a struggle to do this. Because you're not practicing. You're not being mindful. You're not being intentional. You're just like riding a wave. You're throwing your surfboard in, and when the waves come, you ride them. But guess what? You don't have to ride every wave. Not every wave out there in the ocean is a great wave. You can let that wave, come and go and paddle further out. You don't have to ride every wave into shore. And that's what emotional regulation is going to teach you. That you're going to pick and choose how this thing goes. But this idea of, when I get mad, I get big mad. I just gotta, I just lose it. I just let it all hang out. No, that's you not taking the time and being intentional and emotionally regulating yourself. That's what that is. That's you being immature. That's you being impulsive. And I'm going to be frank. There are a whole lot of people sitting in jail cells today because they're impulsive and they don't know how to regulate their emotions. So don't be like them. Don't be one of them. Be a person that, regardless of what's happening outside of you, there is a peace that is inside of you. And that is what I believe the world is truly missing. It's missing people who are developing their own sense of peace, their own sense of calm, their own sense of who they are. They are allowing what's outside of them to dictate how they feel, how they react, what they say, what they do. I want you to go deeper. This is going to be one of those episodes where I am requiring you to go deeper and to consciously feel your emotions, consciously name your emotions, right? We're going to pay attention to them. We're going to listen to them. Because when these feelings are coming up inside of you, they are saying, hey, I need you to look at me. I need you to pay attention to me. I need you to hear me. And you're going to do just that. But you're going to go inside of yourself and you're going to say, how are you feeling? How are you feeling in this moment? Where's that feeling coming from? And then you're going to practice being able to express all of that in a way that's not screaming, yelling, throwing, cursing, name calling. Like, you're not going to do that because guess what? You're not an animal. You don't need to react in such a way because you're not an animal. You are a human being who has words. You have vocabulary. I want you to use those words and not the 5 or 6 4-letter words or many other words. Don't use those words. Find other words to use to express how you're feeling. That's really, really important. And if you are not in a space or a place where you can do that, I want you to at least have the wherewithal to remove yourself. At least take 5 seconds. It's going to take 5 seconds. Count down from 5. And then say, I need to take a break. Like, I need to take a break from this conversation. Or I'm very angry and I just need to be alone. I will talk with you about this later. I just can't talk right now. Even if you could come up with the words to say, I need to take a break and I'll be back. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, that will help you so much to process through your feelings and your emotions and come back and be ready to express them in a way that's healthy, that's actually going to be effective in this conversation. But here's the thing. Too many people, they let the emotions just come up and they jump on them. Remember that surfboard analogy. They jump on the surfboard, they ride the emotional wave all the way to shore, and that just takes them any and every kind of way. They say things, and then let me tell you something. People who say stuff like, oh, I said something I didn't mean. No, you said something that was in you. You said something that you didn't mean to say. Let's clarify that. But when people say that, I'm going to be frank, what they really mean is I said something I didn't mean to say out loud. But clearly, that's what you were thinking. That's what was going on in you, and you said it. And people say some pretty horrific things when they're upset, when they're angry. People, go for the jugular. They do the low blow. But that's in you. That's in you. That's why it came out of you. If it was not in you, it would not have came out of you. So let's check that. Okay, we got to be honest about that. You didn't mean to say it out loud, but you meant it. You meant it. Okay. I want to get you to a place where those things aren't even in you, where you can disagree, you can be angry, you can be upset, and yet you can still be kind. I want to get you to that place. That has been a long journey for me, that even when I'm upset, even when someone's done me wrong, even when I'm hurt, I can still be kind. Like, I am not just going to pull everything out of my hat at a person, especially a person that I claim to love. Like, I'm going to be frustrated. I'm going to have a tone that is stern, and is just annoyed. But I am not going to be unkind. I'm not going to just rip that person to shreds, because this has been a long practice that I have been in, to not do that, to not go there, to be able to use this prefrontal cortex to say, there's a lot of things up here that I don't want to say out of my mouth because it will change the dynamic of this relationship. Like, I got enough sense to know that if I say this relationship may not survive that. Like, that once it's out there, I can't take it back. And here's the thing. We learned it in grade school, that whole sticks and stones may break my bones, but words can never hurt me. We now know that's not true. Words have power. They have great energetic power, and they do hurt, and people don't readily forget them, especially men. Especially men. Ladies, understand this, that your tongue is like a razor blade, and you get going and you slice that man up, you slice him to bits, and he calls himself trying to stitch himself back up, or maybe you're trying to stitch him back up or put bandages on him. Those scars are there. Those scars are there. So you have to be very careful about that razor blade tongue you have, because 1, it's going to hurt. And 2, even if you try to stitch it up and bandage it, when those bandages come off, those scars are there, and he can see them. Okay? So I want to prevent that. I don't even want you going there. Don't go to that dark place where you just are going to say any and everything to cut him down, to make him feel low, or to hurt him the way he's hurt you. Don't do it. Don't do it, especially if you want to continue this relationship. Don't do it. And even still, let's say even still the relationship is not going to continue. I still want you to be kind. That keeps your energy high. And remember, I want your energy high. I want you to be a high vibrational woman. And knowing that, wow, I ended that situation being completely mishandled and mistreated, and I stayed vibrationally high. Do you know what that's going to do for the next person that comes along, the next relationship? Like, you are going to attract a better man because of that. Like, you're benefiting yourself when you're not giving in to every feeling or every thought. Like, you're able to stay in a high vibrational state to attract better men. So just because a man has gone low on you and he has hurt you and he has said and done things to you, don't go down there with him. That's why I don't understand this idea of, oh, if a man cheats on me, I'm just going to get him back and cheat on him. Like, help me to understand how lowering myself to the gutter is helpful. How is that helpful to me, to him, to my vibrational state? It isn't. It isn't. It's not helping anything. I'm not feeling better. I'm feeling worse because I've lowered myself to the behavior that is not in my character. Like, don't play that game. Don't go there. Please don't. Stay in that high vibrational state. You will be rewarded. I promise you. It's happened to me too many times. Stay in that high vibrational state. Okay? So here is what emotional regulation looks like. It looks like we are going to regulate ourselves when we're not feeling great, when we're angry, when we're tired, when we're frustrated, when we're lonely, when we're annoyed, right? We're going to remember to be kind and to treat people with kindness. We are going to hold our tongue. I can do a whole podcast episode on, that's a feminine skill, which is, you don't have to say it. Like, you don't have to say everything. I don't understand why ladies don't understand that. There's lots of things that are going to come to your mind that you don't have to say. I can't tell you how many things have come to my mind that I have never uttered a word. You don't have to say it. There are lots of things that you just don't even have to say, right? Okay. But you're going to hold in whatever is truly unnecessary for you to say. You're going to identify feelings. This is really important. And you know what I'm going to do? I am going to, in the show notes of this episode, I'm going to put a link to a PDF of a list of feelings words, because I think that's really important. Too many people have been telling me, sometimes I don't even know what I'm feeling. So maybe these words will help you. Like, read over these lists. I've done it where I've just read over the list over and over. And so now when a feeling comes up, it's like I have a word to attach to that feeling. And it's helpful. It's helpful to have a word to attach to a feeling that you're feeling. So I'm going to put that in the show notes. I'm going to link a PDF of a list of feelings words. But I want you to identify the feelings and feel them. Right? I want you to feel them. Remember, feelings are not bad. Even the angry, the frustrated, the lonely, the tired, the hangry and all that, those feelings are not bad. Sad, those are not bad feelings. All feelings are they're all information. They're trying to tell us something. That's what our feelings are. They are trying to communicate with us. They're trying to tell us something. That, you know what, I am not in a great vibrational state. Or if we're having good feelings, they're telling us, wow, I'm in a great vibrational state. I'm in a high attracting state right now. That's what they're telling us. So we got to pay attention to the messages that the feelings are trying to tell us. And so guess what? If you just focused on that alone, if you focused on what am I feeling? What's the word that I want to attach to what I'm feeling inside right now? And what is this feeling trying to tell me? Like if you actually just turned your brain on, your executive functioning on, and just did that, that would keep you in a somewhat calm state to not just pop off, to not just let, diarrhea of the mouth, just whatever you want to say come out of your mouth. Like make it your job in that moment to say, what am I feeling? What is this feeling trying to tell me? And then, okay, I'm feeling angry. So why am I feeling angry? What is this angry feeling trying to tell me? Well, my partner has done something, has flirted, has liked some other woman's pictures, or has just done something that's making me angry. And I can even go deeper into that and say, why am I feeling angry? Because I feel disrespected. I feel that he is giving another woman some sort of attention that I'm not getting. Ooh, maybe that's what's really going on. Maybe I'm upset because I'm not getting any attention from my partner. Like I can keep going with this. And when I'm doing that, I can at some point say those words to the person that I'm with. I can actually go down that hole with this person and express to them, yes, I'm really angry. I'm really, annoyed by you liking that girl's picture. And I guess the reason is, one, I see it as disrespectful to us in the relationship. But two, it's almost like, you're saying you like how she looks or you like whatever she has on. But I don't see you saying that to me. I don't see you giving me that attention. I don't see you telling me, oh, I really like what you have on, or, oh, you're really pretty today. So I almost feel like that's energy going out of our relationship or away from me that I'm not getting. But if you're able to consciously let go here, this is going to help you so much to just regulate your emotions without letting them in other words, they're not leading you, you're leading them. This is a skill. It's a practice. And dare I say it, all the ladies that I work with that struggle with fair fighting, they struggle with being able to talk and use words when they're angry or hurt or sad or upset. It's because they've developed the habit of being that way. And now what I'm asking you to do is I'm asking you to develop the habit of now being more conscious of identifying feelings. And what does the feeling mean? What is the feeling trying to tell us? So I'm asking you to break that bad habit of when I feel angry, I just go off. I scream, I yell, I cry, I curse. I want you to break that habit. That's what I'm saying. I want you to break that habit. And I want you to adopt this new habit and learn how to regulate that. To say, okay, I'm feeling this way, and I don't have to respond by screaming or yelling or throwing things or I don't have to respond that way. I can go inside of myself. I can ask myself how I'm feeling. What is that trying to tell me? Why is that happening? And identify all those things. And I can even talk through them with the person I'm with as I'm doing it. Okay, so that's if the feelings are, I guess, more on the negative side, right? And then if they're on the positive side, here's another way you are going to regulate your emotions. So here's what I want you to do with that for the good feelings. So this is what that looks like. Oh, I have a first date with this guy that DM'd me through Instagram, and oh, I cannot wait to go on this date, and we're going out tonight, and I just think he could be the one. You don't know him. You don't know him. You letting your emotions take you somewhere that's only going to end up in disappointment. Like, why are you doing that? Or you go out on a first date and it's a great date. And you come off of that and you telling everybody who listen that he's the one. He's the one. Girl, it was just so perfect. And he did this and I said that. And then I asked him about this and he said that. And girl, I just think he's my husband. I just think he's the one. And so, I'm just so excited. And I'm just so glad that I finally found him. And you don't know him? You don't know him. It's going to take you 12 months to kind of know him. And you talking like this on one date? No, I'm going to need you to pull that back in, okay? I'm going to need you to pull all of that back in. I need you to relax and calm down and regulate your emotions. Just because you had one good date, that doesn't mean anything. So I'm even asking you to do this with the good emotions. So here's what that looks like. Wow, we had an amazing time. Like, it's been a long time since I've met someone that I actually am excited about. Like, I felt a connection there. I wonder what this could be. I don't know. But, it just felt good after a long period of time of not meeting anybody that I'm interested in. Like, it has been a really long time. So, yeah, it feels great. It feels great to go out on a date, be treated like a lady, and have so much in common and just feel a connection. That feels really good, right? That's it. We're acknowledging that we feel good. We're acknowledging that we feel hopeful, that we feel happy. But that's it. We're not taking it somewhere else. We're not taking it clear out here only to be let down in a month when we find out this is not our husband. And remember, ladies, 95% of the men that you're meeting, that you're dating, that you're meeting online, that's falling in your DMs or sending you something through Messenger, 95% of them are not your husband. And I need you to act as such. 95%. Most men that you meet are not your husband. And so I meet men and I'm happy to make their acquaintance, and I'm sweet and I'm kind and I'm interesting and interested and I'm curious. I'm all of those good things. But I keep my emotions in check in terms of, I know the stats. 95% of the men who I meet and who meet me are not my husband. They're not my forever. Okay? I'm just happy to make a new acquaintance. I'm happy to meet someone new and different. I'm happy to, have healthy conversation. I'm happy to go out on dates. I'm happy to be treated. I'm happy for all of that. That's it. But ladies, I'm going to need you to reel it in. Okay? Regulate those emotions. Because when you're leaning either too far on this side or too far on the other side, those are two extremes. I want you to be a little more even-keeled. All right? A little more even-keeled. That's going to take you far. But it's that not being able to regulate your emotions on the good side, the happy side. You know what that leads to? Let me tell you what that leads to. When you cannot emotionally regulate when you're feeling good. That leads to one date turning into, 2 or 3 more dates turning into him living with you. Turning into you quitting your job and moving off with him. That's never a good idea. I will never say that's a good idea. But see, you took 1 or 2 or 3 good dates or whatever connection you feel you had, and you let all your logic run out of your mind. And that's getting more than a few women in trouble. There is a reason why I give you all logical rules, if you would call them, or steps, okay? And the reason being is because when you like someone, it's happened to me. It's like your logical mind, your brain shuts down. And so I have it written out. I have it written out to remind me, these are your rules. These are your standards. You will not do anything less than this because it keeps me in check. But I need you to be mindful of this being able to regulate yourself and your emotions, because you can get in trouble even on the good side. You can make choices based on, oh, this feels so good. This is my husband. I know it's only been 2 dates. I'm going to quit my job and move to where he is, or he going to move in here with me. You don't know him. 12 months. Remember, 12 months before you even kind of know him. You're not doing anything with him for 12 months. You're dating him. You may be exclusively dating him. You're not getting engaged. You're not getting married. You're not moving in. You're not signing contracts. You're not, putting him on your credit or credit cards. You're not doing any of that because you don't know him. Ladies, please, I'm telling you this because I love you all and I care. And I'm seeing just too much nonsense happening. I get these emails and I get these DMs all the time. And I'm like, no, I'm telling you all this because I want you to use your head and use your heart. You have to use both of them. Your heart and your head's got to come together to make a good match. Okay? So this emotional regulation piece, it's on both ends. It's on the man, I'm really mad. And now I'm going to go off. I mean, I saw that story about the young lady who I guess the guy was cheating on her and she ran him over with her car and then the bumper came off and she picked up the bumper and beat him with it. No emotional regulation. And now she is going to spend probably the rest of her life in jail. And it's my understanding that she had children. See, that's what happens to people who can't emotionally regulate themselves. They ruin their lives. They ruin their children's lives. And I don't want that to be you. They have not made a man that I'm aware of on the planet Earth that would cause me to lose my freedom, to lose my children. Okay, that's just not going to happen. Or to lose all my money. Like those things just aren't going to happen. They haven't made a man that I'm aware of that I'm ever going to do anything like that. I'm going to feel hurt. I'm going to feel devastated, but I am not going to make a choice like that I can't come back from because I have learned how to regulate my emotions. And I'm encouraging you all ladies to do the same. Regulate yourselves. This is a crucial skill for your feminine energy journey. You have to learn how to regulate your emotions. Okay, so a part of this is going to be learning how to self-soothe. Okay, so when you're upset, when you're hurt, when you're angry, when you're anxious, when you're worried, you're going to soothe yourself. And there's lots of great tools to do this. There are lots of great YouTube videos. I like to write out scripts for myself. I like to talk to myself to just calm me down. I like to soothe myself. I make sure that I'm saying things that are positive. I'm saying things that I want to be true, not things that I don't want to be true. I am focused on a positive outcome when I'm soothing myself. I'm telling myself that I am a wonderful woman, that, if this man doesn't want me, there are plenty of men who do. I am soothing myself. I am doing activities and things that make me feel good. This is another way to self-soothe. I'm focusing on reaching for things that make me feel good. But I am not just giving in to every feeling or every thought that I have. I'm not doing that because, again, I have been practicing emotional regulation. And I have been practicing this for some time now. So, yes, this is a journey you're going to have to get on. You're going to have to decide. So the number one thing I want you to do is to say right now, I am capable of regulating my emotions. Like, please stop saying that you can't. I hear that over and over. I can't. When I'm mad, I can't, not scream, not yell. I can't just talk calmly. I can't. Yes, you can. That is the beginning of your journey. I am capable of emotionally regulating myself. I am capable of allowing my mind and my logic and my prefrontal cortex, as it may, I'm able to allow that to enter into any conversation, any engagement with anyone. I have the ability to take 5 seconds and stop, count back, and engage that part of my mind that will allow me to executively think, use my logic, and not just be swept up in my emotions, I want you to start saying this. I am capable of regulating my emotions. And once you do that, you're going to come up with some self-soothing techniques. You are going to identify the feelings that you're having, good or bad. You're going to give those feelings some attention. And that does not mean just running away with them. You're simply going to acknowledge them and say, what are you trying to tell me? And then you're going to go through that process of, what's really here? What are you trying to tell me? I see you. You're angry right now. I understand. I see that you're angry. What are you trying to tell me? What's really going on? Just take the time to go through that. And if you need to step away from whoever you're talking to or whatever you're in, then say that. I need to step away. I am flooded right now with emotions, or I'm having a lot of feelings and I need to identify them, or I am very angry. I can identify that I am angry and can't talk right now. I'm very hurt. I'm very sad. Identify the feelings and take a break. Okay? So these are some of the skills that I've used, but trust when I tell you. I want you to Google self-soothing or look it up on YouTube. There's so many wonderful videos on there of how you can self-soothe. What I recommend is that people make a list of their 5 senses, and under each one, you put some things under it that really make you feel good. So let's say one of the 5 senses is sight. You can list things that you see that make you feel good, that have the ability to make you laugh or make you feel calm or just calm you down. So yes, those are the things you're going to reach for. Under sound, it could be music, a specific song. It could be thunderstorms or rain, whatever your sound is. I love babies laughing, but you're going to reach for that. You're going to try to feel better in the moment of, I'm not feeling great. That's it. But here's the thing, ladies, everyone can do this. So when people tell me I can't do it, it's too hard. No, you were born. Babies do this. You were born knowing how to do this. Babies figure this out. So if a 6-month-old, a 3-month-old can suck their fingers, suck their thumb, or reach for their pacifier because they are wet or cold or hungry and mom's not coming right away, or they're tired and they're not able to readily fall asleep, they reach for something, a blanket, a little lovey, their thumb, their fingers, their pacifier, and they soothe themselves. That makes them feel better in the meantime. You know how to do this. Unfortunately, you are just out of practice doing it. So I am asking you to develop that practice again. Start self-soothing. And I don't want you to use food, okay? There's some little treats under taste. That's one of your 5 senses. But I don't want you to sit there and eat a gallon of ice cream, because some people self-soothe with food, but not excessively so. No, that's not allowed. You're not allowed to sit there and eat a gallon of ice cream or eat 3 or 4 cupcakes to soothe yourself. That's going to have, long-term negative effects. But I want you to see what else you can reach for. What other things can you do to make yourself feel better? And it's all in how you talk to yourself too. You want to talk to yourself like you're your best friend, or you're your own mom or dad, right? The mom and dad you didn't have. That's what you want to do. You want to tell yourself all the things that you've longed to hear. You get to tell yourself that. But you are capable of doing this. And trust me, when you regulate your emotions, when you are more even-keeled, when you're able to mix your heart and your head, okay, those 2 things blend together, you will have more success in dating and relationships. You'll have more success in life. Trust me. When you're able to hear something or see something and remain calm, go inside, identify the feeling, pay attention to it, and ask, what are you trying to tell me? What's happening here? See, I'm doing all of that as this thing is happening. and I'm able to stay calm. And if I can't engage with someone while that's happening, I remove myself from that. I go somewhere else. I go to the ladies' room. I go sit in my car. Sometimes you need to sit in your car and let it out. Let the tears come out. Scream or yell in your car. So that when you're around others, you can express your feelings. You can express what's going on, but you can do it in a manner that's calm. You're going to get better results when you do this, especially with men. But I'll be frank, if you present yourself to a man and you are just completely out of control, you are completely beside yourself, they see that as drama, and that's what men don't want. Men can handle our feelings. It's the drama that they cannot handle. When you go to a man and you have good control over yourself and you express how you're feeling, he wants that. He understands that. He can handle that. It's the screaming and the yelling and the cursing and calling him names and all the low blows. That's what he does not want. Understand the difference. So that way you can effectively express how you feel to a man, and he's going to hear you. He's actually going to hear you. He may even validate you. That feels good. But it's the way you're delivering it. You're not helping the situation by being completely out of control. Okay? So if you have any questions for me, as usual, please leave them down in the comments. If you're watching this video on YouTube, if you are listening to the podcast, feel free to email me at info@betterlovemovement.com. And I hope this was helpful. Ladies, this is the feminine skill that you must master. You've got to master emotionally regulating yourself. It's a part of emotional intelligence. And I might do a whole series on emotional intelligence. That's how important it is that we learn how to go inside of ourselves and, one, know ourselves, but then also manage our emotions effectively. That's really, really important. And we got to do that first before we can even go out and deal with other people. We got to deal with us. So we start with us first, and then we go out. Okay? I hope this episode was helpful. I hope you are able to use some of the tools that I talked about in this episode to really, really improve your dating and your relationships and your life. Because that's what this is about. That's what this journey is about that we're on. We're going back to the land of feminine energy. So many of us have been living in this masculine land for so long, and we're exhausted. We're tired. We're frustrated. I mean, this is wearing us out. Ladies, come back. Come back to your feminine side and learn balance. You're going to use your masculine side. You're going to use it at work. You're going to use it with your kids. But everywhere else, I want you to come back to your feminine side. I want you to enjoy life again. I want you to have fun. I want you to laugh and be lighthearted. I want you to feel good. I want you to be sexy and sensual. So join me on this journey and just see how much better you're going to feel when you do. I hope this was helpful. And as always, stay open to love. Thank you for listening to today's podcast episode. If you are enjoying this podcast, please leave me a 5-star rating and review. Your ratings and reviews help me to continue to bring you more great content. Head on over to YouTube and check out the Better Love Movement channel. There's more video content there, and you can subscribe to be notified when a new video is posted. If you have a question that you would like to have answered on the podcast or in a YouTube video, please send it to me at info@betterlovemovement.com. You can also connect with me directly on the Magnify app to have your dating and relationship questions answered. That's MAGNIFI, and it's available on iOS and Android. You get your first 5 minutes for free. So give me a call and let's chat.